What's up guys, today we're going to be doing a video for the Ford Focus. We're going to be installing a custom fuel pump, a return, we got some breather stuff, we have a oil cooler, we have a whole ton of goodies that are going to be going on the car. So thank you guys for watching and we'll get straight into it. Okay, so we're sitting here on my porch and we have the fuel pump hanger here and we're going to go ahead and pretty much draw ourselves a return spot. So I've kind of got a general idea of where I want this. So if you look straight down, you can kind of see that there's this flat plate over here on one side, and then on the other side there's kind of this little spot where the fuel pump is sitting in there. And honestly, so this bowl fills up and it kind of just hangs in here so that way the fuel pump doesn't, you know, starve. And that's kind of the general idea of it. So what I'm going to do, instead of allowing it to splash back into that, is just going to get it kind of close to where it can splash kind of on and over, and hopefully that doesn't disturb stuff too much. So it's going to be about right here is where we're going to do it, and I'm thinking right about there. So we're going to drill our pilot hole first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have a little pilot hole. Perfect. And clear up our stuff. So we'll go ahead and grab the step bit real quick. We might have to just do a little bit of wallowing on this hole, but we'll grab the step bit real quick and then we're going to go ahead and get this out to about 3/8, which is -6, and we'll be right back as soon as we've done that. Pretty much what is going to happen here is you have this nylon washer right here, and then you have the fitting that will go in. You have another nylon washer for the bottom and the nut for the top, right? And pretty much what's going to happen is it's just going to crush everything once you put it in. And that's pretty much it. That's all you really need in order to do the fuel return as far as for the pump side of things goes. What's going on guys? So it is the next day. It's very windy, so I haven't been recording a lot, but I have a pretty good few updates about what we've done so far. So we went ahead and we ran the fuel line from the tank all the way up for the return. So we're going to go ahead and make our return here and then go ahead and connect it to our fuel pressure regulator. So I just made this. This mounts on one of the ground strap bolts for the head, and this is going to need some paint, but to be fair, it does look pretty good. It's a bunch of old parts and stuff. So originally I started with mounting the bolt upside down, and I have this little L bracket here, and we went ahead and bolted on a secondary adapter to our fuel pressure regulator on the bottom, just to kind of drop it because I want it like out of the area of where the hood is. And it looks like it's either just not going to clear or it is going to clear. So we're going to see how that is. I mean, it's really not that high in the bay. Like, that's a look from the headlight. I think we should be good. For the most part, we're just gonna go ahead and get this AN line cut. I have a little piece of tape. We're gonna pull out all the slack, and then we're gonna cut it to length and put a 90 down here, so that way we can just tee right into this. So this is going to be feed from the rail, and then down here we're gonna have the return. Alright guys, it's quite a bit later in the afternoon. I went ahead and swapped out the cheap regulator for the Aeromotive version, which is in there right now. It doesn't fit exactly perfect. You kind of have to triangulate it, but it does work. It seems that we have no leaks. Nothing's coming out of the top. We'll go ahead and kick it on a couple times and double check it. But for what I'm seeing, it looks good. It's holding that's about what it's been holding, but if you turn it off and on a couple times, it goes up to 39 now. The sitting fuel pressure at about 60 when it's idling. But I just need to know it holds pressure. I'm going to count the amount of turns it's at, and I'm going to set it to the same amount of turns when we first go to start the car. But this is the biggest part of the update right now. Fuel system is completely done, and now we're going to go ahead and work on the PCV plate right here at the bottom. So we're going to get this taken care of. This is very important. And also, just for an extra little thing to do today, We might mess around with the oil cooler, I'm not too sure, but we have this second catch can right here. This is all -10, and I was thinking about mounting it somewhere around here. I need to go a little bit lower than the PCV plate, so it's probably going to be a struggle to figure out where the heck to even put this thing. We'll probably just need another drop bracket, kind of like this has, and then we should be able to hopefully get it mounted somewhere where we can utilize it. Okay guys, so you can see this is kind of messed up, but I'm in the car. It's really cold, so don't mind the thighs. Anyways, we're just gonna get this PCV valve out because the one in the kit for the Diamond Sport one doesn't have this valve in it, and unfortunately this valve does leak under boost. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this to an inlet vacuum source instead of running it into a into an intake source. But pretty much the whole thing about this is going to be that the main important part, I mean, is that this is just getting filtered air from the intake, and it's still going to have 2 extra pieces that will be breathing in a catch can. You'll see what I mean. So anyways, we're just going to go ahead and take this out. So you kind of just get, it's kind of hard to do this with the camera in one hand, but you kind of get under here with a little mini screwdriver. Get under there, and you kind of pull up. So anyways, we'll take these 2 out. There's one on the other side as well. This is easiest to do. There we go. This is easiest to do while it's outside of the car. So we're going to go ahead and get this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so pretty much once you get it down, you can just pull it all the way down, and it should come off. And if it doesn't come off, just give it a little wiggle or whatever. Okay, got it. Now we're going to keep our cap for our next installation. Even though it's kind of messed up, it'll still work. And then we're going to pull out, kind of pull and twist out our PCV. And we'll probably get a new PCV, but we definitely do need this cap, and we definitely need this. You can test it by trying to blow air through it or push air back out through the other end, and it should sound like this. It should click, which means that it's doing its job, but if it does have air flowing into it when you're pressurizing it, you don't want to run this on a boosted setup, because pretty much this was just pushing air back into the motor, and this is connected directly to the block. So pressurized air was just getting straight into the motor and not doing what it should have done. And just like that, we have our vent. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and install this guy in. And then we're going to put on the catch can onto this plate. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy on right now. And I'm so excited, dude. This is going to look really good on the motor. I really want to clean it up. But, all right, we'll be right back. We have the oil cooler. We're going to be installing that. The catch can, our new thermostatic sandwich plate. Because the oil cooler will be ran into this. You can see this little spring and block off plate in here pretty much. So when you bolt this on, pretty much it will allow oil flow. It blocks oil passage all the way up until the cooler, and you can still have your AN port on the side, which we will be using this adapter for. And this adapter plugs in. It has one on the end and it has one right here. I believe these are 1/4" MPT, which are the same style fittings that are currently on my current setup. They're down here. Kind of see how dirty this is, but yeah, so we have 1/4" MPT to -4 AN right there, and that's going to be for our turbo feed. Also pretty dirty as well, but that's 1/4" MPT fitting. This is for our oil pressure gauge. And then with our catch can, we're going to be connecting that into the PCV plate today. We're also going to be making a mounting bracket, so that way we can mount this guy all the way up. So we're going to go ahead and get a mounting solution figured out for this real quick. We'll be right back when I figure out kind of where I want it. And I'm going to show you guys how to install these lines. -10 lines can be a little bit harder than the smaller lines, just because of the size of the hose and being able to keep a good amount of pressure on these when they're going on, just to make sure that they're installed right. I'll go ahead and show you how to install some AN lines while we're at it, but then we'll go ahead and get the oil cooler done. Let's get to work. Pretty hard to figure out. I mean, the best catch can location, I think, would be in the bay. But then again, I don't want the catch can leaking if, per se, like, this goes bad or something, you know. And there's also these 2 slits, which kind of almost line up with the tabs on here. So that's a potential as well. So make sure you wrap your line tightly. Pretty much we have our section here that we're going to cut out of this line. You can use the sharpest pair of dikes you got. You can use the sharpest pair of scissors that you have, honestly. I've seen that work. Kind of have to saw at it, or you could be like me and grab the sharpest, well, razor sharp edge kitchen knife that you have, and it will work just as good. Pretty much what we do is we get the hose and our fitting, and you'll be able to see in here, right there at the end of the threads, it gets bigger, literally right there at the end of the thread. You want to push up your hose up into that mark right there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take off the tape on this just because it's just a little too much. It's not a lot, but I think I could do it with the tape, but we're just gonna take it off. And the reason why I didn't want to take off the tape is because of the fiberglass in here fraying. So pretty much all the fiberglass, everything has to be shoved in with it. If you cut it really good, you won't see as much of it, but it's best to use something like masking tape, or electrical tape works really well as well. Just really only one layer, very small. Same thing, I'm just pushing it in. I got pretty much everything in, and just make sure that you're not pulling back a whole ton of the frame when you put this fitting in. I have it pretty much on. You can see there's a little bit of fiberglass still showing. Not a big deal. We'll try to push most of it in as we can. You don't need all of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But and then we're just gonna give it a good push and twist. And we're gonna keep going until the inside of this line meets up with the threads that are inside of here. Because you want these pipe fittings to be pretty stout. Yeah, I'm not sure as to why, but this AN fitting is having a really hard time getting in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and mess with it for a little bit, but pretty much the goal is get it all the way down. You can see we're pretty much almost there. I just wanna make sure it's pretty much all the way. So we'll be right back. So I went ahead and got both of them on. This one's a lot cleaner than the first one we did. And both of them are all the way right there, as you can see. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other two, and then we'll be right back with the installation of our AN lines. Okay, back in my favorite spot here in the car. And pretty much what you want to do is you want to hold your hand on the line itself, not on the fitting. You can hold the fitting a little bit, try to like hold it down if you want, but pretty much it doesn't matter. But what you want to do is you want to push the line against the end fitting. You don't want to try to twist this. You just want to twist this piece on the end cap, because if you don't twist this, then pretty much it can just pop out right here at the end. But you can see it kind of seated in there all the way around. It's pretty much looking clean all the way. So if it's flat inside of there, you can put your finger in and move it around, and the hose isn't pinched up against the inside of this this threading inside of here, then you're pretty much good to go. So same thing, push it, twist it, and that's it. All right, so that pretty much concludes the catch can install. You can kind of see what's going on over there. And as you saw, we tied up all of our hoses with some zip ties just to make it nice. I laid them right on top of the fan motor. They're actually not hitting anything. They actually have clearance all the way around. They're just kind of held in together. So it's a pretty good resting spot. They're kind of sitting on this coolant hose a little bit, but nothing this sleeve can't fix, which is what it's there for sleeves for the intake pipes when it's stock. So I figured I'd just leave it there. Catch can hoses run really well. They don't mess with the headlight at all. They kind of touch it, but not too much. If anything does start to wear out, like the fiberglass shield, which I doubt it will, let's go ahead and put a little bit of tape over it, and that should be it. So guys, right here we have the oil cooler. This is going to be mounted straight up and down like this. And the reason we're not going to mount it at any other angle is because I want it to fill up with oil and hold oil. I don't want it to drain back into the motor pretty much at all. So we're just going to be trying to figure out a good spot right here that we're going to mount it. And it does match the intercooler, so I don't think it'll be too big of a deal if we put it kind of in front of it in an area. We do have these bottom tabs where the intercooler is, and I noticed that they haven't hit or anything. There's a little scuff mark right here, but I think that's from when I was trying to build it. Yeah, so they have a little scuff mark here, but I think that's when I was trying to build it. It doesn't look like it's hit on anything crazy. So even being kind of low, this might still be an okay place to build off of, but I prefer up where the mounts are, so that way we don't have any issues with scraping anything. All right, guys. God damn it. All right, guys, so I went ahead and did a little bumper fitment test, and it looks like even with our clips over here, we still have just enough room to mount the top lines, and also it fits very well. It's just like my sticker. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you can see sticker's off a little to the right, oil cooler's off to the left, fits against the intercooler as well. So starting to look like it's coming together pretty good. And also the fitment of the catch can is awesome. Nothing's hitting on the inside. It's really hard to get in there and look, but everything clears by a mile in there. That was easy. All right. Got that. So you can see I have two mounting brackets on the left right here. And 2 of them out of 4 isn't going to work, so I still have to find a piece to connect these two together, and then we should be good for that. But the routing of it is really simple. It goes over the bash bar, back down and through. It doesn't make too big of a bend, and then it kind of just rests right over here. So we have a power steering delete. We're going to have to figure out if I'll have to go under or over for this line. But the bottom of both of them line right up where the thermostatic sandwich plate's going to go. So that's going to be pretty easy. So we'll go ahead and get a mounting solution for this figured out, and once I have that done, then we'll move on to the sandwich plate and we should be good. We still have a lot to do. We'll have the forged piston tops coming in pretty soon. I have a 6-putt clutch on the way. The fuel pressure regulator is all done. I have some fittings on the way for the rail, and it's all kind of just a vision right now. And honestly, I'm pretty excited. So let me go ahead and figure out some mounting solutions real quick, and we'll be right back. Woo! Not gonna lie, that took a while. So we got the little bracket here made. It's not the best, but it is an L bracket. So it's an L bracket, and then on the other side towards me, kind of see in here. It's kind of hard to see, but it also has, there you go. So it also has a extra lip on the bottom. So technically it's more of a U bracket. Nothing too fucking crazy. But well guys, it's looking like nothing's gonna get done today because unfortunately I don't have the right size Allen keys for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and order some. I think they're just 3/8. It's not quarter, it's a little bit bigger than a quarter, but it looks like it's 3/8 or 5/16. It's bigger than 5/16, which is 8 mil, and it's smaller than 10 mil. So I'm gonna guess that 9 mil or 3/8 would most likely be my guess for this. So I'm just gonna go and get some. Not only that, I also have to go get the -8 to -10 fittings, because this is just a -8 fitting. -8 to -8. As you can see, they're even. So anyways, after we get these ordered and get back, then we'll go ahead and we'll continue the second video, and we'll just do everything, I think, honestly. We'll install our sandwich plate. Hopefully we have the pistons in by then, and we can install those. But that's going to probably conclude it for this video, guys. And if you did like the video, go ahead and throw a like. Hit the subscribe button if you do want to see any more future content like this. This is really, really cool stuff, guys. I really love putting cars together, and just the potential possibilities are like limitless. So, all right. So with that being said, you guys, peace easy, give them the gap, don't get clapped, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.